welcome to an Everyday Canines video. In this video for the Pup to Pro, we're looking at starting to teach turns in a low impact way using our hoops. So turns are obviously very important, our dog's understanding how to turn on a cue, on a body motion. But we don't want to start training them on jumps at this stage because Magpie is 7 months, so she's still got a long way to go growing. We could teach them obviously with puppy bumps, setting the jumps up there, but this is actually a really nice way, a low impact way of getting these turns without that need for the jumps to be in the picture yet. We can shape this, we can do this, and we can build up an awful lot of amazing distance at this stage, ready for when we want to move on to jumps. So if you followed the previous videos, hopefully you'll have some value for the hoops of your dog. I have now set up 3 hoops, good girl, and you can see they're set up like the points of a clock. So you've got noon, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and they're set pretty close. Magpie doesn't actually need them this close, but when you're starting this out, you might. And what I want to do is I want to shape the behaviour. I don't want to ask for the behaviour, I want to shape the behaviour. So let's move Swift out of the picture. So I'm starting out, I'm in the middle. Pie is, if you like to think it, she's on my outside as we are thinking about doing a turn. Imagine we're doing a turn on agility course, this would be a turn with me. So what I want to do is just start shaping it. So I want to see if she'll offer some behaviour through the hoops. What are you going to do? Yeah, good girl. Nice. Now, if she had only gone through 1, I would have rewarded just the 1 because she already knew a little bit what she was doing. Ready? Good girl, I can reward there. There you go. So I'm moving my body with her, but I'm not really offering any arm motion. It's literally just me pivoting with her. Good girl. And we'll just go back and forth. So you can see fairly quickly, she is going to do that without me. Bear in mind, she has had a lot of rehearsals on straight hoops. Good girl. But at the same time, she picked this up really quick even then. Okay, so once she's doing that quite nicely, we're going to make these a bit wider so there is more of a challenge. So now there is a gap. What's she going to do? Okay, ready? Beautiful, get her, Search. So that was no issue. Let's see if we'll do the way back. She's got value, Search, for those hoops. So she goes, yeah, I still turn out. I'm not going to accidentally come through the middle. To be fair, on our first session doing this, she did a couple of times come through the middle, so came through here. So it was something to think about and work on. Funnily enough, I find this harder for dogs that have already done agility as they start to look at these as weave poles. Okay, that was gorgeous. Going to move these out a bit more. And this is just something you're going to keep playing with, building up your distance, seeing how far you can get. There's no real limit on where you can move these to. So now we're getting a biggish turn here. Again, no issue, good girl. She's got this nailed, she says. Oh, we made a mistake. Cool. Okay, ready? What are you going to do? Good girl, Search. So there you are. So she did make a slight mistake there, but she corrected herself and worked it out. It's all part of the process when you're shaping a dog. They've got to learn what's right and what's wrong. And it was interesting she did it on a left turn. Something to bear in mind for me. Maybe that's something she's not so confident on left turns as right turns. Do you get it? Good girl. Okay, ready? Again, we cut. Okay, come here. Ah, see? So I moved a little bit closer that time. So I was effectively putting a little bit of body motion into that because she moved and followed my body. I don't want that. I want her to do this without me having to give her any sort of body cue. So what we're going to do, she's done that a few times wrong. I'm going to bring this back in. Hey, ready? Good girl. And I'm rewarding immediately after that hoop where she's gone wrong so that it's an instant reward that she got that hoop correct. So that's an interesting for me. It's obviously telling me that that turn is where she's having a little bit of trouble. But now that was beautiful. Good girl. She picked to do that herself. Will she go back? Yes. So you see, I'm not, Search. I'm not moving my body, I'm trying to avoid moving my body as much as possible so that she's doing it all on her own. I've pulled out that hoop a little bit more. Now you can imagine, these were jumps and they were set right across and you want a distance handle. You want to be able to just send your dog with an, over there and do it. So again, oops, try that again. It's again important. So let's see what she's going to do. So as soon as that hoop gets out a little bit, okay, what are you going to do? I'm going to just move a bit closer to help her, but I'm not actually going to move my body. Okay, what are you going to do? Go on, Maggie. Ready, ready. Nearly. Yes, good girl. Now, she didn't actually go through the hoop, but she was facing the hoop. Yes, good girl. So I'm going to reward that bit for a couple of times. Yes, good girl. I lied there. I actually rewarded the full thing because she did the full thing. Good girl. So you see, I'm in my body position in all manner of ways. This time I'm letting her go behind me. Oops, she missed that one. Good girl. So there, search. So that my body motion doesn't, my body position is not dependent on what she does here. Lovely. See, I'm developing a Ketchka turn there and things like that. Right, let's just give it a little bit more challenge. Now this is obviously something you're going to build up very gradually. We're not adding any cues at this stage because we're just looking at the behaviour. We don't want cues because if I start adding cues and then she goes wrong, I'm making that cue dodgy. I'm devaluing that cue. If I now start saying right or whatever and she gets it wrong, there's no point to that because then she doesn't really understand that cue. What I want is for her to be so successful that when I add the cue, it's just natural. The cue is always going to be the correct cue for that because she's always going to do it right. So let's see. I'm back a little bit further. Let's see what you do. Ready? What are you going to do? Ready, ready. Good girl. Good girl. Ready, ready. So you see now, when I start standing back, we lose it. Ready? Ready. Come here. Ready, ready. So that's when we lose it. So that tells me she's relying a little bit on my body position to get that right. She's using me as in context. So I'm going to just step a little bit closer. Oops. I can feel I want to move and help her. Come here. So I'm going to step in a little bit. That's it. Good girl, Search. Get it right. Good. Sparrow, stop doing that, please. And then I'm going to start moving back again. Yes, good girl. Now you notice she's been more problematic on this side, so I tend to be focusing on this side. Yes, good girl. Search is still a bit there. So this is all about building that confidence, but yes, building understanding, and you're teaching a turn. We will obviously be advancing that at some point, but at this stage I'm teaching good girl Search, teaching that turn, and I'm trying to avoid putting any sort of body motion to it. I would actually I wonder if she can do it when we're doing this. Ready? Oh, I wondered if you could do it when I was facing backwards. Okay, ready? What's she gonna do? That's probably too much. So, but you can see, I could probably work up to that. Okay, ready? Ready, ready. I'm confused now. Okay. And we're gonna miss that hoop again, are we? Okay. So we can see where there's elements, good girl, that needs to work on. This is probably going to take us, certainly if we do a session every day, it's going to take us several days, short sessions to build this up. So, you know, if you're only doing this maybe once a week, good girl, that was a good choice. No, that was a good choice because she did that and I had my back to her. But she just chose to do that. So you can see she is getting there. And this is, you know, we haven't done many sessions of this. Hello Swift, you turned up. So we're going to build on this, build this up gradually, and then when we're getting real confidence and we can do lots of distance, so these hoops can be really far out and I can be far away from them. So it's not just the distance of the hoops, it's the distance how far I can be from them, and she can do them without me having any issues with where I am. Then we're going to go to the next step. I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video, and if you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.